Okay, today is the 10th of January, and this is your musical theatre Viva, and your name is?
Chelsea Thomas.
Okay, Chelsea, we're going to read the first question, which is number 7. Discuss professional working relationships and the impact of this in the rehearsal process and performance also.
Okay, so I'm going to start off with from the beginning of the module. So I did, when I came in and I done my audition, I did My Fair Lady. And I was really nervous in terms of singing in front of like my classmates, and I've always like kind of struggled with my voice, and out of dance, acting and singing like music, I've always struggled with singing. So when I came in, when I chose that song because it like, honestly, the reason why I chose that song is because that song has a more speech quality throughout the song. So I knew that it wouldn't, even though it did end up like straining towards the end, it ended up to like hurt my voice and I went off key and whatever. But in the, I chose it because it was speech quality and I thought it would be easier for me to sing. And I thought if I can do that confidently, then maybe you could see, if you guys can work with me, then you can see potential kind of thing. Then I had to, excuse me 2 seconds. What I kind of just said already is that I was focused on like hitting the right notes, and I needed to find a balance. And I was saying that it was very like vocally demanding, like. The other different, there was a few other songs that I was going to go with, but they were vocally demanding for me, so I chose to do that one.
What about, just because the question is also about the impact of professional working relationships, what about with your peers?
So as a class, we struggled to work as an ensemble effectively. Towards the end of the module, I think that's when we started working more as a team. This affected, at the beginning it didn't really affect me because I was so focused on like just trying to learn the songs and that, so I wasn't really interested. But then at the end, as we're like putting everything together and running order, you can really see how it affected the class.
So specifically, how did it affect the class?
By just me personally, I couldn't perform to my best of my ability because I was, even though I shouldn't be, but I was too worried of what everyone was thinking of me. So I felt like if we had more of a like, if at the beginning we were more open and we trusted each other more, we had a better relationship, then I could have performed to my best ability way before, at the beginning, if that makes sense.
What was the positive thing that happened then? You know, you sort of said there was a change at the end. So what just to sort of round off that question as well. So you talked about more trust in the beginning, but what happened at the end you think that was important for the end product and the sort of camaraderie in the group?
I think we just realised that we have to do a show and we have to get graded and we have to put off. We didn't want to embarrass ourselves in front of like the audience. So I think when certain stuff happened and when certain changes were made, after that I just felt like there was just a positive vibe, and then because of that like vibe, then everyone, especially me, I felt more comfortable, so I wouldn't be embarrassed and I would go for, it would help me in my performance, especially with Accident Prone. I really struggled with that, and especially the ending of Accident Prone, and I felt like sometimes I wanted to try to better myself, but I was too scared about if someone would laugh at me or if someone, I was too scared of what people think because of that, like, I don't know what the word is.
So what changed at the end, and just to sort of be specific, so you felt that you were able to do what at the end?
At the end I felt like I could perform to the best of my ability. Because I wasn't nervous or I wasn't scared of what everybody would think of me because it changed. That's what I felt like.
Okay, we'll move on because we've got other questions to do.
Okay.
Number 6, what transferable skills have you gained from this module and how will this benefit you as an actor?
Okay, so So the ability to be comfortable in like an audition environment, I'm really used to doing like naturalistic acting, and I don't feel like I would go to a musical theatre audition, but I do feel like if I went to an audition and they was like, okay, sing this phrase or something, then I feel like I could sing it and I wouldn't have a problem, I wouldn't be scared. I did have dance experience, but then I went for a long time without dancing, so doing this is kind of, like at the beginning I was thinking, wow, this is really difficult, so I need to, so I've worked definitely on like my stamina, and just, I realised that I still have some of the skills, and now
what's
just like muscle memory and like just different like flexibilities. I know how like sometimes you'll be quick and you might not like explain a move properly or like slowly, and I can get it like that, if you know what I mean, because I've done it before. And I felt like if I keep, because I totally forgot about dance and I just started focusing on my acting, and I feel like now if I want to, I definitely feel like I'm going to carry on doing dance, and I'm going to like do classes, so that's definitely something that's a change. And now I feel like if I went to audition and we had to do movement, then I'll be comfortable. If it was like a more physical theatre kind of based show, then I'll feel comfortable doing that. And also the discipline as well. I like to think I was quite disciplined with myself, but I wasn't. Especially with my voice. So in dance, if I get out of breath, I would feel it, because like my breathing would become shallow. But with my voice, I wasn't really disciplined in my voice, so throughout the module I did kind of struggle with, had like a sore throat and I had laryngitis, and those two problems was because of me. And I just need to be, especially if I'm having a show, maybe not to shout so much, or like when I'm at home shouting so much, or just
So what specific, so what would be your kind of after you've done a show, what would you do to sort of warm down your voice, or because you said you weren't very disciplined, what specific techniques or things would you do moving forward that you've learned that you can do now?
At the beginning, what I was doing I'm trying to think, warming down, I didn't really warm down properly. But in terms of like warming up my voice, I know how to do that now. So I used to get a water bottle and a straw and like blow into it, and Blair told me that because I'd done singing lessons with Blair, and that would just like expand like my vocal cords and just make them relax. And then I also used to just do that with my tongue like that, and like just talk like that, sing like that. And because I've got like quite a deep voice, and it would just make my voice feel a bit brighter and make me hit certain notes, and I didn't know stuff like that. I didn't know that could like make my voice change, because I've always struggled with my voice. So that's the stuff I've learned.
Good. Okay, we'll move on, I think, to the next question.
Also, can I say something?
Of course you can. Yes.
I've recently got like a new job, and I teach like children like drama, like just little storytelling kind of stuff, and then we work on like plays. And now we've got singing and movement involved in it. And before I'm an assistant, so the main leader, she would do the singing, and I would just help out with the children. But now I feel comfortable, like maybe not straight away, but in a couple of weeks, to feel comfortable to be like, hello, like I can maybe take over some of the classes, because I've been doing that in uni now, so I feel comfortable, and I wouldn't have done that before. So
that's brilliant. So just just to quantify that in terms of the wider context of your transferable skills, what has that allowed you to do?
It allowed me to be a better performer,
and also with your new role,
to take on stuff that I wouldn't have done before without doing this, or wouldn't have felt comfortable. Like I've used the skills that I've learned to help me outside of uni and like be paid for it. So.
Yeah, it's a job opportunity, really. It's enabled you to improve your wider skill sets, and then therefore it's provided yourself with a new job opportunity.
Yeah, so that's really good for me.
Brilliant. Okay, number 5. How does the application of pitch, rhythm, and sung voice technique change your approach to creating and performing a character? We've got about just over 3 minutes left.
Oh my days. Okay. I'm just going to read off my phone. In Accident Prone, it was a challenge for me. I had to work with a group to find the correct pitch, and singing in a rhythm was was difficult for me. I didn't focus on creating the performance. I didn't focus on annotating and objecting my lyrics. I just focused on getting the right notes. Especially when I did it with Blair, I felt really comfortable. But then when I was in a group with the rest of the cast, I felt it hard to listen to the right notes and follow the music, because I was just so focused on listening. I felt I couldn't be my character and follow the journey of the character through the story, because I was just focusing on getting the notes right. So that was.
So did that sort of prevent you from perhaps inhabiting character because you were so? Did that ever? So did that ever change? Yeah. Because we didn't listen to the soundtrack and we didn't rehearse together until like a couple of weeks at the end, it was really difficult for me. So once we started rehearsing together and making like strict decisions, then I could get, once I got that song, then I could go and think about like my character's journey and use like annotate the song lyrics and stuff like that as well. What about when we changed your use from one section to the first section? How did that improve the whole ability for you to execute the song?
Yes, it did. Yeah, it did. So at the beginning, I struggled really a lot with that song, and I don't know. I just feel like towards the end, it was better for me because I actually understood the character's journey and I could annotate it. And because with the other musicals, I could look online and I could kind of see what's been done before. And even though I wasn't focused on that, but I could kind of see like how people's done it before. But with Accident Prone, there was nothing, so I had to. So it was more. Yeah, but I didn't
make your own choices.
I had to make my own choices, and I had to actually think, what is this girl like? What is she talking about? Where is she? What is she doing? And how is she gonna, like, when she overcomes it at the end? It was really hard for me to just find the journey of her without actually looking at the song I did before. Basically,
we're going to move on because we've only got a minute left. I think out of 1 and 2, I think maybe 2 would be the best one to answer. I don't know, because I think you've already answered 1 a little bit.
Okay.
So how does the exaggerated form of reality impact on the acting side of musical theatre?
It just made. So I'm going to give a quick quote from Bob Houseman. It says, "If you want freedom in your performance, you have to do preparation." And with that quote, I believe, like, because I'm so used to doing like screen or like stage, like everything is natural and quite close, to find that like heightened reality and be, especially in like stuff like Goodbye Until Tomorrow, I really struggled with just being, I don't want to say over the top, but just being exaggerated.
And how did you achieve that, do you feel that?
And how I achieved it is I went back, I looked online, and then when I saw what I saw, I just stopped, and then I got my song lyrics, and I just annotated like line by line what I thought, like what's happening there, and I used my emotional memory at first to find, okay, this he's lost a person.
10 seconds.
He's lost a person. He's sad, and then after that, once I annotated it, I found the character, I think. So,
okay, we've got to leave it there, Chelsea, but thank you very much.
Sorry, thank you.